one other thing that we should just mention. So here's a story from Defense News about a day ago.
Okay.
Senate Arm McCain tries to move NDAA, but Dems close the door. Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman John McCain, days after his brain cancer diagnosis, pled with Senate Democrats on Thursday to let him bring the 2018 defense policy bill to the floor. But Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer respectfully would not budge for his Republican colleague from Arizona unless the GOP abandons the fast-track reconciliation process for their Obamacare overhaul effort. The impasse leaves the NDAA, which authorizes $700 billion for the Pentagon, in limbo and possibly delayed until September. And then the same writer 6 hours ago in Defense News, as GOP's Obamacare repeal fails, optimism for NDAA. After a stunning late-night vote in which Senator John McCain voted with Dems to shoot down the GOP's closely held skinny bill, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said he was ready to let the 2018 NDAA Act advance. So,
right. And that's the thing. Like, everybody needs to remember that stuff too, which is, this past election was John McCain's last election. Not whatever happens, even if he survives this, he's not going to be running for re-election. There's nothing he needs to do now, but do whatever he thinks is best. And as we all know, he's obsessed with the defense stuff. He's a neocon, through and through, and that will never change. And if that kind of a trade could get him this, while also getting him all the media attention, while also burnishing his legacy a little bit, so he can write all these mavericky kind of books, or have Mark Salter write them. All the better, right? I mean, that's how he gets to leave on his terms, and people then forget that, again, some of the stuff that I would bring up, which is he has sat around, and there's others, but he had the biggest and most independent platform where he had the biggest opportunity of any of those Republicans, any of those sort of ones that had a problem with the direction their party was going in. He could have stood up to them better than anyone else. The neocon magazines loved him, the Weekly Standard, all these press outlets would have stayed with him if he took on the hard right and stuck to it, and stuck to where he was on immigration, on various other things. And instead, the entire way, he's always caved. He's always backed away from it with immigration and other things he believes in when he runs for re-election. You probably haven't heard him even mention campaign finance reform lately. He's just given up on that. That's not even an issue anymore for him. All the kind of good things he did. And I would say the most recently, again, he the process has gotten so terrible, whatever. He, like every other one of those Republican senators in there, was complicit in those filibusters, was complicit in refusing to work with Obama, McConnell's strategy that he hatched the night of the election or right after or whatever. He's complicit in blocking Merrick Garland and voting for, in the end, Gorsuch, which, if he cared so much about the institution that he claims to love and the process, and that it not turn into this, it wouldn't have been about who was more conservative than who and whatever. It would have been, this was done illegitimately, and I will not stand for this. And in a closely split Senate, with a guy with an independent power base like he has, who could just snap his fingers and go on Sunday shows, he could have made a big difference. And he's chosen to do nothing but go along with it. So it's important that people not forget that.
Yep. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos